Hello everyone, welcome to our JavaScript tutorial. Today we will learn about variables in JavaScript. What are variables? In programming, we need to store data and values to be used later in the programs. To store data temporarily in a program, we use variables. Well, think of them as a container or boxes that can hold different types of information. These containers allow us to store and manipulate data in our programs. To create a variable, we need to declare and initialize it. Declaration is like naming the container, and initializing is putting something in it, like Sarah. Here, I declared this container and declared it as first name and put the value of Sarah in it. I can use this value anytime by using this container name first name. To create a variable in JavaScript, we use let keyword. For example, let age. Now age variable is declared, but it is not initialized to any value yet. If I try to print this value, document dot write age. So here is the undefined. The age is right now age is undefined because we declared it, but we did not assign any value to it. To initialize this variable, we can simply assign a value, some value to it. Age is equal to 25 or 35. Okay, age is equal to 25. Now 25 is printed on the screen because we assigned this value 25 to age variable. We can also declare and initialize a variable in one step. Name is equal to John. Document.write name. So now 25 John both are printed on this screen. You can understand this simply by let age is equal to 25. So this value 25 is stored in this variable age. We can update or use this value again and again by using this variable called age. Variable types. Variables in JavaScript can hold different types of data. For example, you can use them for numbers, text, or even more complex things like lists or objects. We have assigned or stored 25, which is a number in variable age. And in the second step, we assigned value of Johan to the variable called name. And we can also, in this same way, we can store lists or objects in the variables. We can also declare multiple variables with single let keyword, like let first name last name. So in this step I declared two variables with one let keyword. We can also initialize them here. Values, you can put any value in this. JavaScript is a dynamic typed language. This means that you don't need to specify the variable type, such that if it's a string or a number, we just are declaring variables with let keyword. We are not specifying if it's a string or if it's an integer. like other languages, Java or C++. One of the cool things about variables is that you can change their value. Let's say your age variable is now 30. Age is equal to 30. Now what will print in the screen? 30. Here, age variable is declared. Age 25 is assigned to value 25 is assigned to variable age, and in next step value 25 is overwritten and value of 30 is assigned to this variable age. Before we wrap up, remember some best practices here. Use meaningful names for your variables to make your code more readable. Like if you declare some variable with name x, or x is equal to something or y is equal to something, it will be difficult to understand the code later on. And variables cannot be result keywords. They cannot be result keywords. Result keywords, you can search about the result keywords in JavaScript. They are the keywords that are already used by JavaScript language, like for, return, etc. You cannot assign value to it because JavaScript is expecting something else with this name. So don't use result keywords for naming your variables. They should be meaningful and they cannot contain spaces. Like here, first space name, and it will give us an error. Inspect and then select console. There is an error, syntax error, inspected identifier name. So don't use spaces while naming your variables. And they cannot contain hyphen. Like first, and if I put hyphen in it, it will also send us an error. They are case sensitive. Here, age variable is declared, and if I declare another variable with a capital A, 30. Now these both variables are two different variables. This age is assigned to 25, value of 30 is again 30. Okay. This age variable is assigned to value 25, and this age variable is assigned to value 30. Document dot write age. So 25 and 30 both are printed on the screen. And the last one, they cannot start with a number. If I put a number before declaring a variable like 12, it will also give us an error. You can use numbers after the string, like age 2, age 3. It will be a valid variable name, but you cannot use number before string. By convention, variable names use camel case like age or first name, last name. Okay, the var keyword is almost the same as let keyword. You can also declare variables with var keyword. It is also declares the variable, but in a slightly different old school way. There are subtle differences between let and var, but they do not matter for us yet. We will cover them in later videos. So practice is the key. Start learning, start coding, and experimenting with variables in your JavaScript projects. Thanks for joining us today, and happy coding.